Cold Pod, episode 3. The first solo edition.
First solo.
Yeah.
Terrible day.
Disgusting.
Terrible,
Absolutely disgusting. Haven't left the house. You came here. Yeah. Let's keep it that way. It's kind of a big night because I guess we have episode 1 coming out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we have kind of like...
midnight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not jitters, but it's kind of an interesting, like... It's interesting.
This all happened very, very quickly. I met you like a month ago.
I know, that's the best part. The best part is that it's just like... Well, because I'm rarely the kind of person that's like... Not to say that I'm not like a go-getter, but I definitely have a problem of like just procrastinating and building things up and being like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Never do it.
And I just feel like that's just the thing that we just do for as long as we know each other, being like, yeah, let's just like, let's start a podcast. I'm like, yeah. Like, I've done that with bands, like friends. And I'm like, yo, man, we should jam sometime. We should like start a band. And they're like, yeah. Never happened.
But this is the way to do it because like all that deliberation just like kills you. Or like I've had so many projects like written. I have short films that are just like privately online Vimeo that I'll probably like never release.
It's never gonna
because I just never did. You know, it's like it never.
Well, I feel like with this, part of the luck is the fact that A, I have the recording equipment, and B, I live in close proximity to Long and McQuaid. Yeah. So going to go rent these microphones was, you know, like I was like telling like my girlfriend, I was like, oh, gonna go get the microphones, but like, you know, I went and got them and it was, you know, 10 minutes later, I just had them. Send you a photo. I was like, let's go.
This is real.
Like, let's go.
Lauren's probably like, oh no.
She's like, oh
this
God.
Is real.
Well, it's funny because she's already getting kind of like annoyed with this, only because I can't even expect her to want to listen to this because so many of the stories and things that we're going to talk about that I'm going to tell, like she just knows already. And apparently I have a bit of a problem of with her telling the same stories over and over. I'm like, yeah, this one time. She's like, I know, you did that, and then you fell, and then da-da-da.
But that's inevitable living with someone. Like you, like you're gonna hear.
And then especially
stories.
COVID too, because it's just like we spent every waking hour together. Yeah. But it's funny because she's gone now in Dominican.
Yeah.
So
yourself.
Left to my own devices, life is very funny.
You're gonna record a podcast every single day she's gone.
It's like 20 pods. No, but it's like now that I'm just like kind of by myself. So for example, I watched I was telling you a bit about this a couple days ago. Finished off the Daniel Craig James Bond.
Oh right. Damn. What did you think of the ending?
Honestly, I loved it.
It was man, I thought it was great. I was like so I was so pissed off, but I was like, like that's
he dies.
But I feel like he didn't have to.
But that's kind of the sickest part, because you know when you're watching a movie like that, and having watched 4 of them in the last like 2 weeks, it was just the kind of thing where I was like, you know, you're always watching them like, how's he gonna get out of this? Yeah. What's he gonna do?
And then he doesn't.
He's just like, no, I'm sorry, I love you. I'm about to die. And it just like gets bombed.
Devastating. Spoiler alert, I guess we should say. If anyone's seen it, it's been on for like way too long.
For long enough. I mean, to be fair, I didn't know that M died in the 3rd one or whatever. So, exactly. Anyways, enough.
I watched
James
those
Bond.
so spaced out, like 10 years of like year or whatever, however long they came out apart, and like, I haven't rewatched them since.
Honestly, I would 100% recommend it.
Yeah, sick. I just started Succession.
Oh,
and by just started, I mean I'm already on season 2. Like
it's a great show.
Through. It's so good. I just got past the what's his name? The main character's rapping scene.
Oh, Kendall's
rapping scene where he raps at that event. Holy shit.
You're just like, no.
Also, I was like, yeah. Kind of, because it's like, I don't know, it's so sick to see him as a character like do something like that, because he's usually so like inwards and like the best self-conscious portrayal of anyone I've ever seen. And then for him to do that, I was just like, holy shit, yes.
He just goes in.
This is so sick.
He just goes in.
Like, L-O-G.
I love that we're just like watching shit that like, we're not talking about like the new like, you know, whatever hot show is on right now. Just like living like
months old.
Like months in the past, me technically years.
What is the hot shit right now? I don't even know. I guess
there's The Dropout. Have you seen that? Shit's good.
No. About it.
Then there's also Byron Bates. Now that was my shit.
Okay.
And I highly recommend you watch this.
Okay.
If you like trashy reality TV show.
Okay.
About Australians.
Oh, I love Love Island. So if it's anything like that,
it's pretty twisted, but it's sick. Oh yeah. So I was gonna say like, being left to my own devices, just like watching all of this shit.
Right.
Like James Bond. even though it was just in the theaters. But I don't know if you know this story, but I you know that I didn't go to the movies for like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy.
And I think it's because it goes back to that like procrastination thing we were saying. But I'm like a victim of the hype. Like I love when there's like a hyped up movie and I'm like, I gotta go see this.
Right.
And then as soon as like box office weekend has passed, like I don't care anymore until it comes out on like whatever.
Yeah.
So I miss out on everything.
Right.
So for a long time, the last movie that I ever saw was Avatar.
No way.
Like I saw Avatar and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with movies.
That would peak it.
It's like, fuck
the biggest spectacle event of like.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's fully spectacle. It's fully spectacle.
But I straight up didn't go to the movies until Lauren and I started dating, and she was like, "Let's go see a movie." And I was like, do I tell her that I like don't go to the movies, or do I just bite the bullet and go to the movies? So I did, and then that was when we saw Joker.
Okay.
But then that in itself was a fucking experience, and after that I almost didn't want to go back to the movies.
Right. Was this like a form of protest, or it was just genuinely you were just over movies, or like overseeing them in that venue? I don't know.
I couldn't bring myself to the medium and I know it's so stupid, and like now I actually love going to the movies. Like I absolutely love it. But it's one of those things where it's like weaning yourself off of something. It's like once you don't do it for long enough,
right,
you forget what it's like. So the first time I went back to a movie and I like sat there and it was just like, I guess the THX thing doesn't exist anymore, but like it was like coming soon, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. And I forgot that like, you know, you can experience shit in this like high def way.
I don't subscribe to the idea that like you have to watch a movie in a theater. I definitely enjoy watching a movie in the theater like a lot more than watching it at home. Yeah. But then again, there are like certain movies that like I would much prefer to watch at home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like a more intimate
sometimes
viewing.
you might need to pause it. Sometimes because that's the other thing. I hate having to go to the bathroom. Like I'm the kind of person that'll just like sit through the whole thing and just like hold it.
Yeah.
Because if I miss a chunk, I feel like I've missed a part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And same with me in music. Like I have this like really stupid thing where if I'm listening to a song on headphones and someone like taps me and goes like, oh hey, like do you know where the da-da-da is? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's over there.
You have to go
I'll
back.
Start the song over
I
again.
even feel that about like just zoning out sometimes when I'm like listening to like a podcast or even like a song and I'm like I zoned out and I'm like I don't remember that. So I have to go back. I always go back. It's like it takes me so long to like view shit. Even movies, like I'll be like, and that's why I like watching movies at home sometimes, because it's like I'll be watching a movie and I'll just zone out. Yeah. Like I won't even be on my phone or anything. I'll just like not be present. And then I'll be like, I don't know what I missed. Like I don't know what happened. So I always rewind and I always go back and I'll like rewatch the same part, or like reading a book too. It's that same thing.
But now that I'm like back into movies, but I had a bit of a scare when I went back to my first movie after 10 years.
And it was Joker.
Which was Joker. So I don't know if you remember when there was a whole thing where they wouldn't let people go in certain states see it by themselves.
Right.
So I had this experience where like Lauren and I went to go see Joker. We're sitting down and there's this like lone wolf guy sitting right next to me. It's packed theater. It's like opening weekend or something. And this guy looks a lot like what's his name? Is it Sam Elliott? Is that the guy? Okay. He like looks exactly like Sam Elliott. Has like a grizzly voice, big mustache, wearing like a leather denier jacket, just like a guy by himself. Seems like a fine guy, you know. Not thinking anything of it. Now these people behind us spill like some kind of glass bottle or something, and it starts leaking. And the Sam Elliott guy turns and he's like, hey, like whoa, like what's going on? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So they call people to come help us clean it. And this guy, he's like, to me, he's like, hey, like watch your shoes. Like that stuff's about to like drip down onto your shoes. So we have this little moment, right? That's that. Movie starts. We're watching the movie. About 3/4 of the way in, he pulls out a flip phone out of his leather jacket, flips it open, starts staring at it like in his sleeve and texting. And I'm sitting next to this guy, so I'm just like, okay, he's texting his friend, like whatever, on his flip phone. Then he starts texting, not standing up, but like leaning up and like looking behind as if his friend is in the theater. Oh God! And he's doing this for like 5 minutes, and like Lauren is also noticing that this is happening. So obviously my brain goes to fuck. He's gonna shoot up the theater. This is it. Like I'm done. Like fuck. So this keeps going on, and I can't even enjoy the last like 20 minutes of this movie because I'm gonna die. But then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? We had this little moment together with that drink spill. Like we talked. Like maybe I'm okay. So the whole time I'm watching it, I was like expecting him to just like nudge me on the sword and just be like, "Leave now." Obviously, he didn't, and he didn't shoot it up, and it was fine. But it was, yeah. So then after that, I was like, I don't want to go back to the movies again. I only had bad experiences at the movies, and like now I'm just like I'm fine with it. But
well, until the reclining chairs,
exactly, and that's like the new, that's like a game changer.
I get scared every single time I go, specifically to a Batman movie. Like anything in that world just terrifies me because of obviously what happened.
Yeah,
and I remember when Dark Knight Rises came out.
Yeah, it was like that orange hair guy.
Yeah. But like ever since then, it's just been like just the most terrifing.
Yeah, it's like it's like not fun.
And then I was watching the remake of Suspiria, and it was like a very empty theater, and some like this like older man comes and sits right behind us and just starts lighting a lighter. Like just over and over again, he's just like trying to light a lighter. And obviously my first thought was this dude's like lighting a bomb. Like what the hell is happening? And he ended up just being a confused old man. And we helped him, and it was all good.
It was all good. He wasn't lighting anything on
fire.
That's
where your mind goes. Like that can be such a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
And it always distracts from the movies. Like I want to say like, oh, maybe that can like help add, but no, it just like makes it that much more terrifying. No.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
No,
it's no good.
No,
but I don't know. Even when I think of just like any of these, it's kind of fucked how just when you go to certain places, you can't help but at the back of your mind have those kinds of thoughts.
Yeah.
Of just like, what if? You know, like you go to like a music festival. Like, what if something just like goes wrong? And that's a whole thing now with like people dying at like music festivals and stuff. It's just like you're like, yikes! Like my cousin, basically offered me a ticket to Coachella, and I was like super into the idea.
Right.
And like I hung out with him in New York, and he's like you can come. This is like a VIP ticket. Like I've got a place for you to stay. All you got to do is fly down. I can't go because of like work stuff, but the whole time I was like kind of dreading it because like music festivals are just it's such a commitment.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that can go wrong. There's so many things that are fun and great about it. It's expensive. It's hot. It's just like, did I really want to just be like in the desert? And like, you know, my man Kanye West was headlining it. So obviously I really want to go, but yeah, I don't know. All this stuff is just like the anxiety age of like
well, it's just like sensational news. Like it's just like all that stuff is like at the forefront of everything that we consume.
Yeah.
And so there's just like a fear factor towards like every situation. Like walking home, it's like terrifying.
Yeah,
you know,
like go to the mall and like,
the mall. I never like I grew up like not really thinking about. My mom is like very paranoid, like the most paranoid person.
Yeah, same with mine.
And like is just always like she's like the person who's like, don't stand too close to the fridge, it'll fall on you. Like that kind of shit. So she would always kind of fill my head with that stuff. But like in like a small town, it was never that kind of stuff. You know, it was just like, it was like, be careful of vans pulling up, you know, like of that course. Stuff. The stuff that seems like pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But then like I moved to the city, and like I remember my ex-girlfriend was like terrified of working at a mall. Like she would refuse to work at a mall, and I was like, I hadn't even thought of that. Like that's but that's like that's a thing that people are afraid of, and that's a thing that like is actually kind of a rational fear to have in a big city.
Well, as soon as you start going down this route though, and it's very good not to, you just can't enjoy your life, and you have to just like constantly get yourself out of that, because like even like with my mom being like don't stand like on the yellow part of the subway because some guy can just push you, and I'm like, that's
a big one.
I'm like, you know what, you're right, and I will always be like against the wall, just like no, I don't trust any of these people. Like I don't trust
you and two old ladies, but you're still like, no.
I'm like nope. I'm nailed to that wall. You are not pushing me into those tracks.
Yeah, dark. Yeah. Just about the theater experience. I mean, like, I'm really happy that's coming back. I love theaters. I like. I love that experience. I love like the communal experience of watching a movie. I watched Worst Person in the World the other day.
Yeah, is it good?
It was okay. I liked it. Like it's I don't know. It's not my kind of movie, but it was good at what it was doing for sure. And it like definitely hit some spots for me that I was just like, oh shit, like this is, you know, like just one of those like like what if this happened, you know? What if I don't know if you want me to reveal anything.
Go,
but like
just go for it.
It's like what if you like broke up with someone and then they like were diagnosed with cancer? Like what would you do? You know, like that's like kind of the yeah.
Oh, interesting. I actually I just know the name because it's like, what is it?
That's not even necessarily the plot. It's really just about this like woman who's just like can't decide what she wants, and she's just like ends up, because she doesn't know what she wants, she just like ends up being the worst person in the world. You know, just like making all the wrong decisions because she is just so unsure of herself and so unsure of what she wants, and so she'll like get with someone and then be like, oh, I don't want to be with this person. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But what I was gonna say about that was that everyone in the theater like sobbed around.
Right.
And I was like kind of sad, but like,
but that definitely makes it sadder.
I was like, I should be sobbing right now because everyone else.
Am I a bad person for not
sobbing?
crying?
I'm like, am I the worst person in the world for like not hitting me as hard as it should? Like, but yeah, but then another theater experience I had was during The Quiet Place. Which everyone says like you have to see it in the theater, like you have to see it. And then I watched it in the theater, and it was probably the worst experience I've ever had.
Because there's like too much talking, and stuff.
It was just like, because it was so quiet.
Yeah.
I could hear every single like
just like
noise that anyone made, and it was just like driving me insane. I was straight up like sitting there, just like I could not focus on the movie at all. I was just like, just so annoyed by every single person in that theater.
I mean, when I saw Jackass, that was the kind of thing that was worth seeing with people.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like, what am I going to sit with my girlfriend and watch Jackass? Like, I don't think so.
No.
Even though it was her idea to go see it. But I think part of the experience was to go see it in a theater, because it's just like you're just with a bunch of people laughing at someone else's pain, and like
everyone's in hysterics, and you can hear like the people be like three rows behind you like squealing so
just
hard.
Like,
it's just like it's so good.
Oh my god, his balls!
That was the best theater experience I've had in so long.
Yeah, same. That movie's. I'll give that a solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was
9 out of 10. It needed Bam Margera.
That was peak cinema. That was so good.
Give them the Oscar.
Seriously. I mean, like, what? I like that actually begs a good question, because it's like, what is the movie for? You know what I mean? That movie made me like feel so much, because it like it like made me nostalgic.
Yeah.
It made me like so sentimental about like all of these people who I like grew up watching and felt like older cousins to me.
Yeah, no, same.
And it made me laugh. And it made me like terrified. Like it literally made me feel.
And
all
it
the
opened
things.
the door for the new generation.
Yeah.
Can't forget about Poopies.
No, Poopies. Shut up, Poopies. Yeah, it was like it did everything that a movie could ever do.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I had an excellent time.
Yeah. Well, okay, I've been thinking a lot lately about just like the whole. I mean, and part of the reason why we started this podcast too, of just like embracing local culture and like embracing your world as it is, like, because like this is our world.
Yeah,
like, Toronto is our world, and everyone in it, everyone who lives in Toronto and like makes art in Toronto and makes music in Toronto,
the people you love, the people you hate,
the people you love, the people you hate, they are like all a part of your life, and yet in your real life, you know, the people you see on the streets, and yet 90% of what we like watch or consume is from or listen to is from somewhere else.
I know. Everything is about what's happening in Times Square, what's happening in LA, what's happening in Montreal. Like, no, it's like, but that's the thing about Toronto, is this is we've never had, which is why we talked about starting this in the first place. We've never had a place where, because I feel like every podcast that exists here, I was telling some people about this on the weekend. I was like, hey, I'm starting a podcast. And they're like, what's it about?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's not the point. It's not about what it's about. It's about what we're going to be talking about. It's like about who we're going to have on and what we're interested in.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how many seasons? I was like, no. It's not that kind of podcast. This isn't like a CBC podcast.
Right, yeah.
This isn't like, we're not going to go in and find out about the inner workings of the RCMP or whatever.
Like a serial killer podcast.
Yeah, this is not that. And it's like, no, but that's the thing, is to my knowledge, maybe it exists. Maybe there is some shit out there, but like, we'll take them down. But you know, this is it's time for this to exist here, because there's just so much shit here. And I feel like the problem that I have with, I'm just gonna go in. I feel like a lot of the problems that I have with some of the journalism here is the fact that, not even here, I would actually say journalism, and I'm talking about journalism within the arts.
Yeah.
So much of it worldwide, so much of it has to do with the practice and the product and the artwork and the thing, and very little has to do with the actual person.
Yeah, I 100%
which
agree.
To me is equally as important. I'm not going to say more, but equally. You know, the practice is important. What you're working on is cool. Like, cool. I'm interested, but I also want to know about the person.
And I want those things to come up like organically. You know what I mean? Like I don't want I hate the questions. Like the questions.
What inspired you?
What inspired you? Like what was the like seed of this idea? Like, I hate those questions.
And that's why I wanted to have Timpa on initially as a first guest, is because, you know, as someone who's just a close friend of mine, it's always funny when I talk to him and hang out with him, and when I don't see him for a long time, because, you know, his internet presence, and we're all guilty of this, but his internet presence, and so many of my friends who do sick shit have this like quote unquote brand, and whether they want to admit it or not, it's fine. But it's like, you know, you present your artwork the way you want to be viewed for your artwork, but so many of these people, you know, behind closed doors are actually really funny
and like
really outgoing and really just like the exact opposite of what they are, of what they present to the world.
That's huge, because I mean, like, even like the way the internet feels right now is like very insincere, very ironic, very too cool, or like any of those things. There's two things, I guess. But then you like actually meet the people that are presenting as such, and they're very sincere, they're very funny, they're like they're nothing like their online persona. And this has been something that's like, because I've tried, like I've given it a fair shot, I think, at like trying to create an internet persona. Like I've sat down and be like, fuck, I should really do this. Like I should really like.
Hey, there's still time. There's still time.
I know. I should really like try to like.
We'll get a team together.
We'll get a team. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a team. I don't even want to be on charge of my social media. Just someone else take it.
Well, if we can ever get this to
I'll
take
give
off,
up my password to the highest bidder. Just someone take over, please. But like, I've been like,
that could be a tier on the Patreon.
Oh, that'd be sick.
You get to create your persona.
That'd be so sick.
That's the big one, though.
I'm down. But then you like actually talk to these people who are like, quote unquote, like too cool for school, or like, you know, like and it's like, oh wait, they're totally normal people. They're such normal people.
Well, at the end of the day, everyone's normal.
Everyone's normal.
Kind of, well, to an extent.
For the most part. For the most part, everyone is normal, or like a version of normal that is normal to them. But yeah, when I was trying to like, when I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like do this. I'm gonna like be a Instagram person. And I was just like, I posted and every single time I post something, I'm like, oh, this just feels fucking like not me at all. Like, how do I do this? That's still like me, and it's just, I don't think it's possible. Like I think I very few people I know on the internet who like are doing anything that's like they're using the internet for their thing,
right?
Like for their music, or like you know, to build a brand. Like none of those people are being authentic.
But that's the problem. Here's the funniest part. Where, not for me to ever pretend, well, Instagram's different, but I'll use my Twitter as an example. I think that and unfortunately my labels are not necessarily fans of this.
Right. You are very authentic. Is that what you're gonna say? Yeah, you are very authentic.
You know, my posts are either 90% jokes, liking stupid shit that I like that pops up on other people's feeds, and then the occasional, oh hey, I released a new song, or oh hey, here's a new thing, and those always get the least amount of interaction. And then it's like me being like, here's I'm gonna yassify Aphex Twin, and we're just like, woo. And it's just like it's thousands of likes. I'm like, fuck,
this is the one.
This is what you guys want. Okay. But I find that you can't force it though. You kind of just gotta like do whatever, you know.
You have to do whatever. I think that's it's the same, like it's about doing, first of all, and not second guessing it. And I'm just like such a second guesser with those things that like it just ends up coming off corny, I think, like because I'm like, I am thinking about it too much. I am thinking about it at all, you know. And like that's just the worst thing you can do.
I just never want to trying to box me in, but I never want to be boxed in. You know what I mean? It's like if I want to be in like promote mode and be like, hey, I have like a fucking album coming out, I'm gonna promote this, I have all this shit coming out, this is what I'm gonna do for the next bit, which I like am kind of in right now, sort of on Instagram. But you know, I'm still gonna throw in a joke here or there. I'm still gonna throw like a dumb photo of like, or I'm gonna post a photo of food, because I also, my Instagram was also a ton of photos of food. So like, you know, I just don't think that we have to have these rules, and like, and I just am glad that and maybe that's why I'm not as successful as my peers, but you know, I feel like I'm fairly approachable on the street, as opposed to like some of my other friends would be like, yo, that's dead it over. And I'm like, yeah. I don't think anybody does that for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think back on like when I used to like come to Toronto, seeing things, and I would like, because I'd like, you know, I'd be around, but I was never in the inner circle.
Yeah.
I would always be on the outskirts.
Well, I definitely got like, I was like, I don't even know how I got in. I mean, I'm not in it anymore.
Yeah, we're all there.
I got out, but I was in at one point.
Sick time.
At one point, I was in. And I'm glad to be out now.
But it's funny how that like mystery of a persona, like those people do garner like more of a following.
Yeah.
For being mysterious or like unapproachable. Like it's weird that that's what people are attracted to. Yeah. And it's like
it's because it's like it's like it's the opposite of the stars. They're just like us.
Yeah, right.
It's like the opposite. It's kind of like, oh, like that person, like I don't know I don't even know what their apartment looks like. They don't even have parents. You know what I mean? You know those people. You know those people.
No, there's people like that
who have basically built up a persona online to be like, I like don't even have parents.
I don't have a house. Like I live in a void
that is like that exists between like 11 p.m. and like 6 a.m.
You will never see me grocery shopping. That doesn't happen. Like you'll never see me out doing like.
Laundry. Don't even think about it. Nope.
But how do they keep that up? I'm so impressed by that.
I know, me too.
So thoroughly impressed by that, and not that I want that necessarily.
No, I don't want that
at all.
Like,
how the hell do you do that? How do you keep that going?
They're just not out there. They're actually just, as much as they're like out there, they're actually not out there. You know what I mean?
Like, did they not like go do they not go to like, I don't know, PG Clucks and get like a sandwich ever?
That's what I mean.
You know, like, or like what you like.
That's what I mean. But when I say they're not out there, it's like the whole like cool guy like Toronto thing is like, yo, I'm out here. I'm at this club tonight. Right. I went to this show. I did this. Now I'm at this thing. Like, you wish you had my life. But they're like we're out here. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, I've never seen you at like the laundromat. Like, you're not out here. Like, if you were really out here, I'd see you. You know, when you're truly out there. Yeah. You know, you're out there at all hours of the day doing errands. You've heard of those?
But I mean, like, this is the thing. Like, I think people don't want the stars to be like them. Yeah. Like, that's the nice thing about having stars. Like, that's the nice thing about having celebrities is we only want to see them at their, like, highest. Yeah. Or when they're like, lowest. Shaved heads. And
exactly. None of the middle ground.
None of the middle ground. Yeah,
we don't want to see society, that. Society. I feel like we, as a society, have cut out the interest in the middle. Yeah. And I think we got to bring that back because that's the sickest shit.
Well, the middle in literally all things.
Yeah.
The middle class.
Yeah.
But then also like not centrism, but like the middle of like not being a reactionary or not being like anything like that. Yeah. And then the middle of just your life when you're fucking like buying doggy bags for you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
just, I gotta go buy some vegetables today.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that.
I think maybe that's a 2022 summer prediction.
I hope so.
Just like being out there.
I hope so.
Being out there, but like
really being out there.
Really being out there.
Really being out there.
And not even at your worst.
No.
Not even at your worst.
No.
Because we've all been out there at our worst. Yeah. And at our best. We're just talking mid. We're talking just the shit that, you know, that's the best shit. That's truly the best shit. Is the mid shit. Just like right when it's mid.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
No, I know. I agree. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing that'll ever bring out like a guttural reaction. Just something that's just like, you know what? It was fine. Yeah. This is a good day.
Yeah. I forget how we got onto this.
I don't know. That was good though.
That was good. That was a good bit. But no, it's very, very true. It was like talking about like an Instagram persona, brand,
right?
All that shit.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, neither can I. And like, well, here's the funny thing that I can do. I can only do it when someone else does it for me. And having a girlfriend who's a graphic designer has truly made this a lot easier. Yeah. Because you can literally like scroll. Because I'm also one of those people. I don't delete shit off my Instagram. I mean, I have deleted some shit off my Instagram. But I'm not like one of those like 9 tiles. Like yo, this is what I'm doing right now, or deleting it all.
Their entire persona.
Like this is who I. It's like no. I think it's because I'm so confident in who I am. Oh, yeah. Like, do you want to go back to 2014? Like, fucking do it. Like,
I've been sick forever.
But that's kind of how
no, that's sick.
Kidding,
I mean, I kind of agree with that. Like,
well, because it's like,
I've definitely deleted stuff off my.
No. So
the part of my Instagram that I deleted was when I was still like using Instagram filters and putting up putting borders on my pictures.
Oh yeah. I wonder. I almost want to go back because I might have done the same thing, which makes me no better than anyone else. But I'm pretty sure there's a couple of borders at the bottom of mine, but I don't know.
2022 summer prediction: Instagram filters come back.
Ooh, hipstermatic.
Yeah, hipstermatic.
Or like
X. There was what I don't even remember. X1. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those need to come back.
Those should come back. Those were kind of
back.
sick. I actually, you know what? Those are kind of already back, and you're doing it.
Hell yeah. That's not even when my friend
like
commented that, I was like, "Damn, is that what I'm doing?"
That's kind of like what you're just doing it like you're just doing it the legit way, but without anyone actually knowing. You're like, yeah, I have this like sick little camera, but like anyone else is just like, oh, he just like photoshopped his photos.
I hate that. That's definitely what people think. Fuck. Yeah, no, it's sick.
I think it's sick as hell. I think it's sick, but I think definitely people don't know.
The picture for this episode should definitely be just like 30 filters on
yep.
top.
Yep. Yeah. Done and done. Done and done.
But back to the like local thing. And I don't want to shit talk Toronto because I think the thing is that Toronto is sick and there's a lot of cool things that are here.
Of course.
And the problem is just that there's not like platforms in which to like.
Well, because no one wants to champion Toronto. Nobody wants to champion Toronto. And like and I don't really want to champion Toronto either.
I want to do but I think
we should.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is just like things that are like, just like I want to like even back to the theater conversation, like host like get Toronto filmmakers who I love, who have made movies, and are like why does a movie? Okay, I understand like you don't have to submit a movie online, but like let's bring your movie to this theater right now and let's just like watch that. Because it's like
are they doing
Toronto
screenings at what's the place up the street?
Paradise or Royal?
Paradise.
I don't even know what Paradise is doing anymore.
Because I feel like it's a theater. It looks like a theater.
There's places like that. Like I'm sure they would be down to like to do that. And just all that stuff. Because like music has that already for the most part, kind of.
No, I mean music. Yeah, no, it does. And again, like we said, we're not going to talk shit on this podcast. No, I mean we're going to talk shit. We're going to talk a lot of shit. But we're not going to talk general shit about it. Like we're not going to have this like nihilistic approach that like
we're going to talk shit if we have like
we're going to criticize. Yeah, have constructive criticism.
Yeah, agreed.
No, but
nice way to say talking shit.
No, but like you're right. There's definitely more of a infrastructure for music here because Toronto is a music city. Just kidding. No, but like, there's still very much this. I don't know how to say it. It's like, okay, things are here and things can be exciting, and I don't know why they aren't.
Yeah.
I feel like and I feel like it has a lot to do with the lineups and such. And I'm not going to go down this thing of being like, the lineups aren't inclusive or da-da-da. It's not like that. That's already happening and that's great and it's fine. We're doing that. But I'm saying the problem is I'm finding there's no cross-genre stuff. I think some of the most interesting parties and shows and things are where you get different artists bringing in different scenes, if you will, of people into like one space to enjoy music together. I think that's the sickest shit. And I feel like that used to happen maybe like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then it truly like segregated itself like pre-COVID, where it just became this thing where it was like, here's the DJ nights. We're going to have these DJs doing this. And then it was like the same time, like, here's this fucking hardcore show over here that's happening over there. And then up there is like some other shit. And it's like, and then whenever me and my friends would try to bring these things together, like I would book like Tish and like my friend Tish, sick DJ. I would like get her to like come play at this like fucking band thing, like with my cousin Eve Jarvis, who was like a weirdo singer songwriter guy, and like try to bring these things together.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. But I feel like people just aren't ready for it. They don't understand how to do it.
Well, and this is kind of I think the symptom of the same thing, where it's like we consume so much of other places' cultures that we forget that our own is sick.
Yeah,
you know what
I know,
mean? Like,
I know.
And it's like when we see like, oh, a local artist is playing somewhere, it's way less cool than when so-and-so comes from LA. Like, it's just, and it's, but like, why?
I don't know.
It's the same thing. Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, we have shit here. That's the thing, is we have sick shit here.
Yeah.
And like, hopefully this like changes, because I guess, I mean, it's hard to really gauge it at this point because like shit has been closed for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're kind of really just talking shit about 2.5 years ago or 2 years ago. Be like, man, it's just like,
but no, I think there was a shift from 5 years ago.
Would you say a vibe shift?
A big vibe shift from 5 years ago. But like 5 years ago seems to be like 20. Oh my God. 16, 17.
This is the thing.
This is the year. Something
Everybody
happened.
talks about the 2016.
Something happened.
Everyone's talking about the 2021 vibe shift. Nobody talks about the 2016
Toronto vibe shift. That was a huge
That
one.
was actually a thing.
And I don't know what happened. Because that was like my first 2 years in Toronto.
Yeah.
And the first 2 years were like insanely sick.
Yeah.
And then 2016, 2017 happened.
Yeah.
And just something changed.
Yeah,
and
something
I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. There was like... Yeah, there was like a toxic culture that brewed in certain places.
Yes, it got way darker.
It got super dark.
Things were all. My theory around that time is that things were all very exciting and new and fresh.
There's also like just post, like not Drake, but like just post that like really big Drake influence. Like Drake played at my Frosh Week kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like like that. The excitement of that, and then all of the things that kind of came out
after,
of that.
Yeah. Well, even that same era, that would have been the same year when Drake came to my DJ set at fucking The Beaver.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's never going to happen again. Well, The Beaver's also gone. But, like, you know, things like that. Things like that. That was when things were still, I feel like there was still, like a sense of, I think we were all just, like, everyone was just kind of on kind of a tip. You know?
And I think that probably led to the dark shit too, because it was like, holy shit, we're so sick.
Yeah, and then it just it was bound to crash. It was
bound to crash, and that's why we have to come to like all of these. We should go close up for the next one. That's why all these things like we need a good sound bite.
Yeah, we should. It's basically. Did you ever watch? Sorry, it's gonna go off for a second. Did you ever watch And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot?
No. I'm sorry. I watched Sex and the City with my mom growing up, but I never watched the reboot. Which actually no, last time I was home my mom was watching it and I refused to watch it. But
whoa. Sex and the City is one of the greatest shows of all time.
I know. I was being too cool.
And Just Like That is also incredible.
Is it sick?
Yes, because it's like, I mean, I actually can't tell if it's actually making fun of itself.
Okay.
But it's like, it's so hyper aware about like being woke that it's like almost like kind of like making fun of itself.
It's
like
sick.
It's kind of sick. But anyways, the reason I bring this up was we were talking about the opening the can soundbite, is because basically in 2022, Carrie Bradshaw is on a woke podcast, and she's with this like has like a non-binary co-host, and they have a button. They have a woke button. Like woke moment, woke moment. So I was kind of joking that like ours could be like as things start to get like the opposite. It's like,
that's good. Every time we're about to go in,
someone's about to go in and say something potentially dicey. It just goes.
It's gonna happen.
I know. We will not edit it.
Okay, that this is very different too, but on the line of like things that make fun of themselves, but like you can't tell if they're making fun of themselves, which I feel like is a big symptom or like a big pattern that I've seen over the last like while. Like I mean, ever since Lil B the Bass God.
Yep.
Like where it's just like I don't know if this guy is taking himself seriously. I don't know what this is, but in a very weird version of that when I went to the Microphones concert.
Okay.
I know that's a huge leap, but like
honestly, no. I would say same world.
But his like that concert, the Microphones in 2022, was one of those things where I was like I couldn't tell if it was like a Gen X guy really thinking this was sick.
Right. He thinks he's being subversive.
Yeah.
Or if he was just
he was like making fun of himself and like in a really funny,
so
hilarious
what happened?
way.
You told me about this, but I don't.
He just played the pull riff. So like that one, like I think like that one chord, over and over again, and just like told stories about like the beginning of the Microphones for an hour and a half.
That was the show.
That was the show. And then every like 15 minutes or so, he'd grab his bass and just play this really distorted bass note. And then that would last for like 3 minutes, and then he'd put his bass down and he'd get back on his little nylon string guitar and he'd play the pull riff again, and then you just keep telling a story.
Honestly, kind of into that.
I loved it. I was so just in it that I was just like hysterically laughing the whole time. So I don't know what the rest of the crowd was like. I don't know if they were like, oh, this is so sick and deep, or like, or if they were like also like, this is hilarious. But I was just like cackling the entire time because I was just like, I thought it was so funny.
But that's
and I thought it was sick and
that's
funny.
A funny thing that I feel like a lot of people would always come at you over. Right. The fact that you're laughing at something does not mean you're not enjoying it.
No,
like in fact, I would argue that laughing at it is the truest. I mean, unless they're like really bad and you're like laughing at a band. But this I felt like, and he was making jokes. Like it wasn't like, but yeah, it's like those like kind of pretentious venues, and even like going to like certain movies where it's just like no, this is very serious. Yeah, you cannot
laugh at this. But it's like. I don't know, I'm gonna fucking sound like such a pro filmmaker right now, but like going to see a Godard film. God damn.
Hey buddy, the Ion Pack is that way.
I'm sorry. But like going to see his films, I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's fine, like whatever. But I think they're hilarious. Like, like I remember going to see his like most recent film, not Goodbye to Language, whatever came after it. And like the entire theater was just like, yes, we're seeing this French New Wave filmmaker, like very serious. And I was just like laughing the whole time. It was another one of those experiences. I was just like, but I was like, he has to be making jokes.
Yeah.
There's no way that this can be 100%
But people
serious.
take themselves so seriously. I will always remember the story that a friend of mine told. I'm not gonna say the person's name, but they were in Berlin once, right? And they're like hanging out, and they're like, oh yo, like so and so just texted us. They're doing like a private performance at this like loft and whatever. Should we go? And they're like, yeah, let's go. So they walk up these stairs into this giant loft, and this guy is lying on a table with a single synthesizer, surrounded by like 15 like German guys, like with their hands on their chins, watching as he's just playing a drum, being like, and they like walk in and dead silent except for this drone. They're like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, and then he just goes, he like stops the drone and goes like, and the German guys are like,
oh my god,
they start clapping, and he's just like, hey. And it's like, you just caught the last second of my performance. It's like,
that makes me want to throw up.
It's so funny.
I don't know if I'm mad because I'm just like not invited to those.
Invite only, guest list of 10,
like
one note.
I want to go so I can be the one laughing, and like not in a rude way. And like you're mean, and then they'll just like, if you do it convincingly enough, they will like claim that that's also what they were trying to do.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah, this is supposed to be.
But that shit can definitely backfire on you, because like I love the feel. Oh, I shouldn't say I love it. No, I do love it. You know the feeling when you're like not supposed to laugh in a situation, and like someone makes you laugh and you're holding it in. Yeah, that is such a funny feeling. Yeah, it's such an interesting to just be like, feel like I shouldn't do this right now. Yeah, but I can't hold it. And I remember because there was an era, and I don't know if this still exists anymore, but there used to be an era where, specifically in Montreal, you'd go to a loft show, and before the bands played, they'd have readings. Now, I feel like we're going down a shit talking hole, but I'm not trying to do it, because a lot of my friends were, went to school and were writers, creative writers, and blah blah blah, and me and some of my friends were in bands and stuff. So there's always this push and pull of these two things, which I always thought was which to me, I'm kind of contradicting myself by even saying that they shouldn't go together, because like 20 minutes ago I was like, we need to like bring all this stuff together to have these. Yeah. But my point is that like, I remember this one specific time where like a bunch of my Toronto friends who were playing in bands all went to Montreal to play at this like loft show, like three of our bands and then like a bunch of Montreal bands. And we got there and there was a reading happening. And we're like, are we in the right place? Like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. Then realized that the reading was, the beginning of the show was the first hour and a half, and then after. And I'm always like a very respectable, nice guy. I'm not gonna just like, I'm not gonna bring someone down on their moment to shine. But that being said, I had some friends that were a little more rambunctious, and you know, they were like laughing and like not booing, but just making noises and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And I was trying to hold in laughter, being like trying to be the serious. So I was trying to be the serious guy who was like, you know, really listening to what so and so had to say. And the worst part is the readings were actually pretty good.
Right.
Like it wasn't like they were bad readings, but it was just we were just so used to, you know, going to a party and that being a party setting and not being like a serious setting.
Well, it's expectations, right? Like, if you like, I mean, I feel like I could be like, a reading is a different thing in a way. I mean, I could also see all my friends going to a reading and just like laughing their ass off and being like, what the hell is this shit? But like, I also like, I don't know. I would go to a reading and like, I would be like, you know,
but that's the thing is
because it's like you're setting yourself up for, oh, this is a serious thing.
Yeah, this is a reading.
Yeah.
There's no DJs at this reading.
But then again, it's like maybe this reading, I don't know, like maybe this is just like the cultural thing right now. It's like, I don't know if I care too much about anything that is just serious.
Exactly. You know? Exactly.
I don't think that that's fun. I don't think that that's engaging. And I probably am going to not listen to 90% of it. I mean, there's obviously like exceptions to that rule, but like even reading should be kind of funny, I think.
No, I agree. I mean, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the reading.
Yeah.
But
right. Yeah. Totally.
I mean,
have I been to a reading? I've been to like poetry nights, like slam poetry.
What? No.
And that's bad.
That still exists?
That's still like on Ryerson campus. That's like a thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, there was like slam
in a
poetry
completely
nights.
non-ironic way.
Completely non-ironic way.
Yikes.
And that you know, I'm sorry to anyone out there who like fucks with that. I just don't understand it. I just feel like it's so played out to the point that it's absolutely impossible for it to be like cool. Not even cool. I don't care if it's cool, but like to even be like provoking in any way.
Right.
It's like it's the like meme of poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Does what's her name? Who's the girl who always like sways her head? Rupi.
Oh, Rupi Kaur.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Is that slam poetry?
I don't know. That's something. She. Have you heard some of the stuff that she's done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've that was actually I made a couple memes about her.
Where's your meme page? I need to see this meme page.
Well, they're mostly in the drafts.
See, this is the thing. You gotta post it right away. Who cares? I've actually made memes before. I've posted them and like no one's responded to them. And then I've just like deleted them.
No, I've had some duds too. Everybody has duds. Like you can't have like heaters, like only heaters. It's impossible.
But I haven't had a heater yet. Yeah, it's like that. You know, like you need to have at least one heater so that you're like, okay, this is the thing I'm chasing. You know what I mean?
But that shit
I don't
never
think
lasts,
I'm good at memeing. I'm not.
You're not good at it?
I don't know. I try. I have ideas.
Yeah.
I think I need like another person to be like, "Kid, this is how we make it funny."
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I kind of have. Well, because like Lauren, whenever she like sees, I'll always like pass them by her. But the thing is, it doesn't work though, because sometimes I'll be sitting with her and I'll be like, look at this, and she'll be like, I don't get it.
But someone else will.
No, yeah. I was like, no, but like, she's like, it's not funny, and then I'll post it and like, goes viral to me, which is like not that much, but like enough that I'm like sick. Like somebody gets this.
That's so big though, because like certain things are not funny to everybody. Like how many like of the meme pages do you follow? And sometimes you see one, you're like, that I don't get this at all.
Right.
This is like not funny to me whatsoever. But then the next one they post is like, holy shit, this is so funny.
Yeah.
And guess what? They have probably like the same amount of likes.
Well, because here's the thing with meme pages though, I feel like unless it's a hyper niche subject matter, they're also just mass posting. It's not about getting big likes, because you can't even really see the likes anymore. It's about just like getting engagements. So it's like
likes are back.
Are they back?
Likes are back.
Not on my Instagram.
I think you can choose now.
Really?
Which is like weird, because like now, I don't know if it's like you can choose to if you show your likes, then you can see other people's likes. But if you don't show your likes, then you can't see other people's likes or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
likes are back.
kind of into that.
I don't know. I like
just like our Patreon.
yeah. For anything that gets a lot of likes, I agree. For anything that doesn't, I don't agree. Yeah, but things are just not funny to certain people.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And they're not like, yeah. That, and I think that's like the really cool thing about, in kind of contradiction to like what I want of like local culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now with the internet and now with like the fact that you can literally send anything you make to 8 billion people or wherever we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find a niche that likes your stuff no matter what you make.
Yeah.
And that's pretty sick. Like that's kind of crazy.
No, for sure.
Like, you can like kind of make whatever you want now.
Yeah.
And like someone's gonna like it. Hopefully,
yeah.
as long as you can like figure out a way to reach them. You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean that's It's just about finding out the medium.
Yeah,
the medium is the message.
Marshall McLuhan, shout out Marshall. He's a Toronto guy too.
Was he in the scene?
I think he was a big scene guy back in the day. Him and Michael Snow, they were huge scene kids together. Well, that was okay, for real. They probably had like a wave. Have you ever seen Wavelength, the Michael Snow film? It's like
no, I know what it is.
Like,
I know what you're talking about. I know. Yeah.
So
wait, that's like one. It's like one shot.
One slow zoom in this room.
Yeah.
They probably like. I bet you Marshall McLuhan like pulled up to that
the
screening, and there was like an after party
and a reading before.
I bet you Marshall McLuhan was the mysterious guy who like no one like who everybody was like, he doesn't grocery shop.
I've never seen him in the daylight. He's a vampire. One of the Toronto vampires.
That's what we're calling them from now on. The people who like. They're vampires.
They're vampires. Oh yeah.
They're fully vampires.
There's lots of vampires.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not gonna say names.
Should we name names?
Like beep and beep and beep and beep beep and beep. Maybe we should actually put that in.
Mad vampires.
And actually just. Oh no. Oh my god, that'd be good though.
Yeah, it would be.
Wow. Okay, so I was randomly today just decided to listen to some emo music, some screamo music.
Hell yeah.
Do you like the Blood Brothers?
I don't think I know them.
Oh my god, you need to listen to the Blood Brothers.
That was how we first bonded. Was over like Seisha and what else? I Hate Myself.
Which is funny because that music was stuff that I was like, it's funny because it's music that I meant so much to me at a certain point in my life, and not that it means nothing to me now, because it clearly does, but I just had moved on and arguably had like a little bit of embarrassment about some of it, not the bands that we were talking about, that I just kind of forgot about them.
Right.
So occasionally, like, I'll go down these like Spotify or YouTube holes where I'll like be like, you know what, like whatever happened to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to them and be like, wow, this shit is sick.
I love it.
And then you just fucking keep, you're like, oh my god, I forgot about this band and this band. I forgot about like just a crazy shit.
I think that's the sickest thing is it's like, I mean, like any music wormhole you can go down, it is such an infinite one because there are so many like niche bands on YouTube that like only have it on YouTube, and if you just do like the YouTube, it's just like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah,
and
it's just like the random 7-inch, just
and
like
not to like diss the thing itself, but like there was just so many people that were really good at emulating that sound or like making that sound or like just so many like and they all have like this slightly different tone to it. Yeah, that it's just like it feels like discovering like every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
like you're just like,
but you see, that's the thing. Okay, this is something I can talk about. I'm waiting for because I'm not gonna say that I'm jaded or I'm like over anything, but it's fewer and far between now. I'm waiting to get truly excited about something musical again. That thing hasn't happened for me in a couple of years.
That thing you posted today,
that's just good.
That was really good.
Bar Italia. That was
sick. Really good.
That's like super sick. No one knows who they are.
That was like the first thing I've heard that's like recent music
Did you listen to any of the other stuff?
Yeah, I had the radio on for like all day, and Tempo was on it actually, which is sick.
There we go.
Yeah, I had the radio on all day, and it was great. And
Yeah,
it was I hadn't heard them, and I was really stoked on it.
Yeah,
that was probably one of the most recent discoveries that I've been like, holy shit, this is really cool.
Yeah, no, that shit's definitely like sick as hell. I like love it. I more so just mean about something that like sounds like something I've never really heard before.
Yeah,
which. I don't know. Maybe it'll never happen. I don't know.
It might never happen.
It might never. Have I reached my like, have I found it all?
Or is that like where we're at? I don't know. Like,
or is it because we have so much access to everything now that like you're never gonna have that? Because when you have that aha moment at like different stages in your life where you like, discover that you like anything like that moment. Like I feel like it's just gone for me, and I feel like it's because I've just gone through the motions, but like I could literally trace it. I could tell you like the moment when a thing went like like being like, I don't know, 12 and hearing Blink-182 and being like whoa, this is my life now. This is my life, this is it. And then having the same thing like years later with like anything, this has happened over and over.
Do you have, because like I definitely had that with music at a very young age. Like I remember getting introduced to like Fugazi and Black Flag when I was like in grade 3, which is like way too young, but I like loved it because my sister was really into like Taking Back Sunday and like kind of those kind of emo bands. And then I heard like Fugazi and I was just like, what the hell is
this one? I want to know what this one is.
This is so sick.
But also Taking Back Sunday are kind of sick.
I love Taking Back Sunday, dude. Q without the E.
Q without the E, cut from the team or whatever.
Oh my god. Banger.
She said, "Don't."
But like, so like with music, I had that all at like a very young age. But I had that like really recently with film.
Mm-hmm.
Like up until like a couple years ago, where I was just like discovering film, and film is still like.
I feel like that's kind of like, and I just don't want.
You don't want to go down there.
No, it's not that I don't want to go down there, but I feel like, I guess it's a cliche, but it's like, I guess it's inevitable. Yeah. Like it's time to just go down the film route now. And it's truly been happening. I've gotten more and more into film.
Right.
And like,
but
it's kind of, and I guess it's because I've just exhausted things. Like it's like, I've gone back, I've gone forward. I found it all. And I'm just like, what next?
And do you like, cause I mean, I'm like such a binge listener and watcher in the sense that like, when I find an artist I like, I listen to only that artist for like 2 months straight.
Well, I'm an album guy. I love albums.
Yeah, me too.
I love albums. The idea of an album is like my favorite thing. And I know it doesn't necessarily even like exist anymore. Yeah. But I care so much about like the first song and the last song.
And the fact that it was created to listen to
front to back.
Yeah.
That's the sickest shit. Like,
so sick.
Yeah. Like, and I don't know. My favorite format is still the CD. And like, I just love the idea of listening. Because it, like, vinyl's great, whatever. But like, I don't like flipping a record. I like just like putting on. I just like it's so lazy. Yeah. But I just like the idea of just like.
Yeah, I agree. I've never had a record player. That's one thing I can say. I've never owned a record player.
I
would like to.
I mean, I have one. But here's the funniest thing: is you're here right now. Yeah. There's no record player set up. It's literally at my studio, like in like a bunch of boxes.
Yeah.
But in the storage. So.
But yeah, discovering new. I don't know. I like. It might genuinely just be. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be something that comes out that's just like. I mean, like even like, okay, what did you think when you first heard like hyperpop?
Do you like hyperpop?
No. Okay, but I feel like that was one of those things where I had listened to it and I was like, this is what I picture, like, my kids listening to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, like
well, hyperpop is interesting to me because I don't listen to it. I don't like it. Yeah. I remember a lot of people being like, if you don't like 100 gex, you're old. And I was like,
that's a
come
thing.
on.
I don't like 100 gex. I guess I won't.
I was like, come on. But honestly, I don't like them. It's not. I have nothing negative to say about them as artists or whatever. But I don't care, and I don't think it's good. I actually just don't think it's very good, and I don't think it's very interesting. But I will say there's that guy A.G. Cook. I actually think he's pretty good. He's like technically a hyperpop artist.
Okay,
doesn't matter. I wouldn't even necessarily recommend you listen to him, but it's like, but he's got some like good shit. He's like It's like some good shit, but he's like super all over the place.
Yeah. That was just the last time I remember hearing something, and even it was pretty much just like Crystal Castles, like.
But
like
that's
it
the thing
wasn't like very new, but I was still just like, oh, this is like that kind of music pushed to its like extreme.
Yeah. But see, for me with hyperpop, I didn't even think it was that cool. Not cool. I didn't even think it was that interesting. Not because it wasn't. I actually just didn't think it was new, because what it actually sounded like to me was. It was a new idea of mixing every genre into one thing.
Right.
A new idea, but the sound was actually pretty much just like a mix of like pop and dubstep and EDM and everything mixed into one. So it was kind of just like it didn't necessarily do anything. It didn't sound like something new. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But now that I think about like what even ever did that, I don't know. It's interesting.
No, but like are we just at the point in our lives where we have, because we definitely haven't heard everything by any means. There's so much music in the world, but have we heard enough that we know the influences of everything, or the things that are influenced by the other thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes and no, because I mean, I actually don't want to be a hater, because like I think I actually am looking for like. I'm not saying that I don't think it'll ever happen. I'm just waiting for it. I know it will happen again. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, artwork, you can't box it in. No. At the end of the day, there is still the possibility of something new, and something new will come and will happen. And I'm not even saying that new necessarily means like a good new doesn't necessarily mean that it's the most important thing, because a band can come up and be like, we reference 90s fucking da-da-da, and I'm going to be so into it, I'm going to love it, and that could be my favorite thing for the year. And that's its own thing. I'm just more so curious about like something new. I just like wonder if there's a way to like I'm just curious as to what will be the next thing. And I don't know what it is, because we're in such a cyclical trend cycle that like, you know, you can sort of equate like music and fashion to like the same kind of thing. 100%. It's like people are like being like, oh, we're like back in the 90s, and now we're back in the 2000s again, and and it's like, sure, but like, does that just mean there's maybe like a bunch of 90s band? Like, I don't know. Yeah, just it's on like a nostalgia in a way. It's just like I mean, and I even feel that way about like the music I want to make. I'm like, I want to make the music that like I used to love, you know? Oh, same. No, that's my point.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that, because like
but I think in a weird way, the only way that new music is going to come out, like, I mean, like genuinely like interesting, not even new sounds. I don't even, again, it's like so hard to I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Or if it's even like a possibility or a thing. But I think the only way that that's going to happen is through the combination of influences. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like or just people being like, I love this and I want to make this. And then they're going to fuck it up in their own way. Right. And it's going to become its own thing.
And the exciting thing is that it doesn't even have to be something I like. Yeah. For example, I have never listened to dubstep. I was just never into dubstep.
I had a big dubstep.
I'm sure you did. But it was just like wasn't my thing. But I will never deny the fact that when that shit existed, I was like, never heard anything like this before. You know?
Yeah,
like,
true. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm looking for.
Right. The new dubstep. But that was also like, I mean, kind of a technological thing where it was like well, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't even think it was.
No, I feel like it was like, yeah, maybe it wasn't, because I guess it was kind of. This is showing my age, how young I am, because I was like, that was like, I didn't know. I mean, my dad had like a home studio. Yeah. But like the idea of even like drum pad beat, or like, you know, like, I didn't know that was a thing. So when I heard that stuff, I found like a like it was like a dubstep creator website, right, where it just had like all the samples,
like the preset
and the presets, and then you could just like make your own dubstep music with all the presets already on this website, and it was like a like a grid, yeah, and it was just and that was sick. But like that was what I thought everyone was making it on,
right?
You know?
But I feel like with dubstep, it was more so about the tempo.
Right.
That's what was so interesting about it. To me, as someone who like thinks about this stuff, is like, you know, you think of like house music or electronic music. It's like dubstep was like it was like halftime, and like halftime electronic music didn't necessarily like exist.
Interesting.
As a whole, as like a whole halftime thing.
Yeah. Yeah, see that just like I'm not musically inclined enough to have even been able to recognize that at the time.
Yeah.
Or now even. I just loved those like the sounds.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
You know what I mean? Like it was just like, whoa, this is like Transformers shit. Like,
yeah.
That was, and it kind of came out around the same time as like those movies.
The Shia LaBeouf
like,
movies.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is like, yeah. That's funny.
All right, I think we've
we outdone ourselves.
I think we've outdone ourselves. We can maybe cut the music conversation. We'll see. Doesn't necessarily need to be there.
Reach out your hold your breath.